I don't even know where my glasses are. It's fine. Hey there, how you doing? This is my first time communicating with people in terms of on my birthday, and I received several different texts from friends and family. And today is a good day. It's a very good day. And it's one of those days when you wake up and you're 54 years old. There's some realities that I didn't know to expect, what to expect. And I had no expectations, but Lord wake me up today. So much so I forgot about my birthday until my mom's mentioned it 2, 3 days ago, or a couple of days ago. And I said, my goodness, it is here. And so I'm very grateful for those who have wished me happy birthday, for those who have put the post up, and they're going to get them to me. And this was one of those days when I don't know this is for everyone, but when I'm learning that when you get older, there are some things that no longer matter anymore. And there are some birthdays where you're happy that it's a birthday, yet at the same time, your life is predicated on being alive every day. And so I said, God, what should I do today? My parents did come by, thank God that they're both with us. And they came by yesterday. And my wife wished me happy birthday this morning. I said, oh, yeah, it is, isn't it? And I received a song from someone and a card and just respect. I got a couple of gifts that I have to open. Yet today, once again, I was moving very slow on purpose, moving slow yesterday, all this past week or so, because I've had to get a grasp on what's going on. And God, what is the proper response for me in this season? This chain suit I had made 4 years ago and never got around to even being able to put it on. And I just partially put it somewhat on because Jill said, how do you feel? I said, I feel free. I said, this is the first birthday that I really feel free. Meaning there's, like right now, these chains are heavy. There was no heaviness on my soul because I have grown into a space of acceptance and transcendence where I've learned to love myself. And I thought I would do a really dramatic, post, but I had to realize, no, Duran, just enjoy your moment, enjoy your day. And believe it or not, I was just taken back down memory lane by several people who reminded me of our journey together and what they've learned from me and what we learned from each other. And I was just grateful to read some of these texts that I got and just thank God. One, because when you get to this age, if you have been present, and you've been doing what needs to be done, you're just here in this moment. And because I did what I did out of love, not for accolades, not for credit or anything, it takes people to tell me what we've experienced for me to recognize, wow, that did happen. We did do that. And this did happen because everything was by faith, even as this moment right here is by faith. And these chains represent the things that must, the linkage and the things that must fall off while you're trying to transcend your moments. And I went to put this on. It was supposed to be laid out in a certain way because it actually fits like a jacket, but I just didn't have the strength nor the time to put it all where it needed to be. So I said, I'm just going to put it on my arms and around my neck and just talk about it and share that I'm so happy to be who I am today. And that in order to be the person you need to be, you have to be the one who is willing to give it up and let it go. And I've had to let so many things go that by the time people tell me things, I don't even remember them. And it has nothing to do with short-term memory loss. It has everything to do is that anything you do in love, you tend not to hold a record of it because you're present in that moment. And so I had a brother, and I won't mention names because then people would get upset, or I don't care what they would get. Just know this, to have older men call me their father, their father figure, that is mind-blowing to me. Because even as a younger man, when I started doing ministry, I did believe that what Paul said, and he says, you know, whoever these men think they are, I don't know whoever they think they are, but I'm called, I'm chosen. And I always believed that I was called and chosen, which allowed me to be real. This is why I could tell people in the last 2 weeks, I was going through a depression. And I was able to tell people that I have helped because I needed those who knew how to pray, because I realized that I was now missing the man I used to be. And due to medication side effects and life and all kinds of stuff and the world, I said, God, what would you have me to do? What would you have us to do? And then, you know, like many of you, I've had, like you, for me, I have not been in a store in 5 months, probably a little longer than that. I haven't been in a store in 5, almost 6 months now, because I had to, it says a leader changes before he or she has to. And I had to make a decision. I'm going to have to follow my heart of hearts and separate myself from my family members, as well as, and it hurt me, my granddaughter, my own daughter, everybody, and separate myself. And I remember calling one of my friends and I said, I hate this. I hate this. But I also knew it was a season of love and a season of hate. And I had to say, I don't like having to do this, but I've got to follow wisdom. Don't think that I didn't think about the old Duran wanting to come alive and do a service and do let's get together. And I have all kinds of creative things. And God said, be still, be still, be still. So even today, whereas I normally would have tried to return a bunch of texts and everything, I had to choose to be still. And thank God. And I told Jill, I said, this is by far one of the best birthdays I've ever had. I said, no, it's the best. And you know why? Because I'm free. When you're a servant of God and a soldier and you serve people, you're constantly in a state of sacrifice, a state of being misunderstood, a state of having your motives judged. And you're constantly in a state where people are holding you to a higher standard than they even held their parents. And I didn't realize that I had become a spiritual parent to a lot of the people that I was helping. And when I could no longer perform within close proximity of their lives, some got rejected, some got offended. I'll never forget, I got a call from a brother who's no longer with us today. He just passed this year. And he said, Deron, brother so-and-so is about to commit suicide. And can you talk to him? And I was getting ready to get on a plane to go out of town. And I says, well, are you sure? And I said, you can't talk to him? And he said, I've tried, but he's getting ready to do it. So here I am at National Airport, getting ready to get on a plane. I hang up, I call the brother. And when I call the brother, he's going through whatever. And I say, hey, my friend, I'm gonna need you to go with me. If you can you meet me? Or can you have so-and-so who just called you, drop you off here, and you go out of town with me? But I have to go out of town. And sure enough, they showed up within 40 minutes. And I bought them a ticket and we got on the plane. And it was now three of us, my man and another, and this brother. And we were on the plane. And I was doing my best to have a conversation with him because I knew he was in bondage. Got him a hotel room and said, hey, I can't spend this time with you, but you can go ahead and stay here at the hotel. And when we're finished with this convention, I can come right back, but I have to go to this convention because they only do it once a year. And he said, okay. And we came back, we went to dinner. And the next day, he said he was ready to go. I said, okay, great. Why am I telling you that when I say when you're a servant of people and of man? That personally cost me some funds. And then one day, I'm at dinner with 4 other men, discipling them. And I get a call from him. And I said, hey, how you doing, man? And God, you keep me from saying his name. I said, how are you doing? And he began to say he was upset with me. And I was like, what are you talking about, man? He said, yeah, the way you're doing this and that. So I had to excuse myself from the table and go outside and walk the street talking to him. And as it turns out, he was in some kind of way that had nothing to do with me. And because I was doing my best to be available, the next day I had someone take him flowers. Why? Because as a discipler of men, I was willing to do whatever I had to do for them to be able to see that they're loved and accepted by God. And when I came I had the flower put together, the whole 9 yards. And when I came back into my office later on that afternoon, the flowers are sitting at my assistant's door. And I looked down and I said, "What is this?" And the person who took the flowers, he was not a assertive brother during that time, said he didn't want them. And I said, "You brought them back?" He said, "Yeah." I now know today the brother was trying to hurt me. And I let it go. But that was one of the days where I gained one of these links, fear of man, that shut me down because I said, "God, no matter how much I try, I still seem to be offending people." And because I was overcoming my own people pleasing, I had to walk away from that relationship. And I had to walk away from several relationships because when you love a man and he is narcissistic or sociopathic or psychopathic or nihilistic, their life is also often going to revolve around them. And I recognize that this brother that I had helped, he had an issue. And I had to walk away from that. But I'm telling you this because it cost me emotionally. And I'm 54 today and I'm free. But part of my depression was that I had to accept, Duran, you're going to have to once and for all drop trying to be everything to every man. And you're going to have to give yourself the credit of loving God. And it took my wife to constantly keep me focused and to say, "Duran, you gave everything you had." And I now know that I wanted to prove to my dad that I was a good man. Although we still had a good relationship and it was trying at times, but I wanted to prove that I was not this F up that I had been called for a long time. And I thought it was my job to give a brother what his father didn't give him. And what my job was just to be the man that God called me to be. And so at 54, when I tell you August 1st, 2020, I'm free. I'm really, really free. And no more chains holding me. I have made a decision that, God, I want to love you. And I'm letting go whatever emotion, unforgiveness, judgment that I have, because life is short. And I told my wife, there's been a couple of people who have wanted to talk with me. And I love them. But I said, people don't understand what you go through when you're fighting for your own life. They don't understand what you go through when you've lost who you are. I had a young sister come up to the church when they heard that I was in the hospital and I had gotten out, and people started visiting just to see me again. And I saw her in the hallway and I said, hey, how you doing? I didn't remember her name. I said, how you doing? And do you know, she said, hi, I wanted to talk to you. I said, about what? She says, you know, when such and such happened, and she talking about something that had happened 7, 8 years ago. And I looked there and I said, hey. I don't know what you're talking about, but that ain't where I'm at today. Because after a while, when you've given your best that you can give, it comes to a point that you have to be able to maintain something for yourself. You've got to be able to hold on. I've had to tell brothers, look, man, stop defending yourself. Stop making all these excuses, man. We don't need to have that kind of conversation. No, I was just bringing clarity. I said, no, you're defending and you're making me spend energy that I don't want to spend on unnecessary conversation. I flew in and was picked up by Dave Thompson. And we went into some carryout or something to get a sandwich. And and so this brother just came up to me. I said, hey, how you doing? I recognized him, shook his hand. And before you know it, he's like, yeah, I've been wanting to talk to you, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I could already tell, wait a minute, he got something else happening. And I said, hey, my friend, did I do anything to bless your life? He said, yeah. I said, did I share things that changed your life? He said, yeah. I said, so do me a favor. Let's not try to discuss something that's irrelevant and it means nothing. And I said, and I'm just getting off the plane, my friend. And tell me what I did to bless you. Tell me what I said that would change you, that changed you. And he said, yeah. And I said, and then he shared these things. And I said, that's what we will hug on and love on. But do me a favor. I don't want to bring that stuff up. I was prepared for that because many people are cowards. They don't mean to be. But then when they get out of your presence and then they perceive a weakness, they'll come and then try to hem you up. If I had $1,000 for every mature disciple that I had to say to them, listen, I got my own problems now. I can't be on your page like that anymore. Yeah, but I just wanted to talk to you. One of the first times I told this sister, I said, Godspeed, Godspeed, Godspeed. Because whatever it is that you're going through, I know nothing about it. And I realized when you are a giver, people want to say to you what they didn't say to the bullies that was in their lives. And so when y'all hear Duron say that he's free, I'm free. I'm really free. And this is the first birthday that I can say, all I care about is what I'm supposed to care about at this moment. I thank God for my wife, my best friend she is, because she has been there. Because I'll forget to eat or something, and she has helped me with my food. She has said, can I help you with that? Can I do this? And I've had to do a lot of repenting, my friends, because you don't realize when you take a vow that says, till death do us part, that's real. And I've had to apologize to her on numerous occasions and say, forgive me for the brute beast I was with you. Forgive me. And I realized that if you prayed for one, then love that one. And she's been there for me. I've been there for her, but she's really been there for me. So I found myself staring at her while she was asleep and crying and saying, God, I hope that I go before her, because I don't know what I would do without her. She's the best. And she's the most beautiful woman I've ever met. And because she grew up in chaos, she learned how to give the best of love, understanding. And so I appreciate you guys, whoever listened to this. Oh, I had one more thing that I'd like to share with you. Ways to peace. Let go wanting to get even. Let go wanting to be right and make others wrong. Practice discernment rather than judgmentalism. Be gracious and considerate. Keep serenity and tranquility as your goal. Know it's okay to be undecided. Instead of just making quick decisions, calibrate options and be flexible. The ways I've had to take it to peace. It isn't necessary to have an opinion for everything. Value wisdom over being right. I learned something. Value wisdom. Seek wise counsel. Everybody should have somebody that functions at some form as a psychotherapist. I'm seeing a counselor. because I needed to see someone who deals with a bunch of complications and to help me be able to deal with this new season of my life. And I've been seeing this person for about 6, 7 months now, and my life has changed. I had to be able to confess my brazenness. Be grateful for your assets, and your most important asset is your spiritual interests. Let others win. Pray to see things differently. Refrain from reframing it or putting it in a different context. Renew thoughtfulness of gratitude. Serve God rather than your ego. I could go on and on. Surrender your will to God. There were people that I was very rough with. There are people I was in such a warrior mentality that although I was compassionate within, I was still not able to see them. There are people who have done things to me, just as sure as I am that I've done things to people. And I've forgiven them, let them go. Cost me thousands of hours of rest. I've had people go out and lie on me, lie on my wife. I mean, to the point where I cried just to know that they would lie like that. And God says, remain focused. So, happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, Deron. My relationship with my dad is intact. My family is intact. My spirit is intact. Happy birthday, Deron. And I thank you all for loving me, whoever you are. And I thank you for allowing me, even in my youthful hubris, which is pride. There's some of you who said, I know he's a good man. And I pray that I made it out of that. And for all of you all who consider me your spiritual parent, it's an honor. It's an honor. And I thank God that I had this opportunity to serve. That's it. I don't even know. I didn't even know what I didn't even call this anything. I don't even know what to call it, so I'm just not gonna call it anything. Happy birthday. And anyone else who is having a birthday, may God bless your birthday today and tomorrow and yesterday. Why a bunch of days important to me like that anymore, because I accept every day as my birthday. Because every time I wake up, I say, thank you, God, for one more day. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and get this chain up off the floor before my wife swears that I'm tearing it up. And let me pray for you. Father, bless those who are listening. Father, I pray that they're able to find peace in this moment, and that they too can transcend chaos. And I pray, Father, that everybody, every one of us, will find our way in this new dispensation. I give you the honor and I thank you for life in my body and the ability to share. Amen. God bless you all.